I don't understand the runner's high. Who gets high from a run? I get tired and depressed. I got an accounting job. Quit in 5 days. I wasn't going to be miserable. I mean, I'll be miserable, but at least I'll be miserable in the kitchen.
Who do you feel like you show up as online?
This character, Cugine, that I created. I think I'm going to get into like long form, but like subscriber base, because I want to get a little degenerate on there.
You heard it here, guys. 2025, Cuge is launching his OnlyFans.
May not be what you're looking for, but it's what you need.
Cuge.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome to Post Run High.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Okay, for a little bit of context, Cuge and I just filmed an episode of The Treadmill Show.
I'm having a fucking heart attack.
Oh, we ran about a mile. Our pace slowly got faster as we were running. I think it was the first time you've ran in a year, which is okay.
Yeah, it was tough. It was probably the toughest thing I've done all year.
Is that true?
I mean, physically,
Yeah.
probably.
Because you don't work out much?
I don't do nothing. I should. I tell myself I got to start doing, like, something. But I go for walks. I do walk a lot.
Okay.
I do like 2-3 walks a week, nice, calming, music in the ears.
Where are you walking?
Just around the neighborhood, head down. Don't want to see nobody.
Around Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So you walk around, don't want to see anybody. Why? Because you're getting recognized all around
Yeah, I just
Brooklyn?
don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to get my run, walking. Don't run, can't run. I just, be left alone.
I get that. The first time Cuge and I ran together was about a year and a half ago for the running interview show, and we ran around Williamsburg, and I think almost every single block somebody was screaming, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
or "How's your sister?"
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, it's like every day, I guess. But whatever, you get used to it. It's part of the territory. It's good and bad, I'd rather that than nothing. I'm very introverted, so I don't really like talking to people. Like,
I find that so wild that you
people
are so
think
introverted.
I'm just like standoffish, and I'm like, no, I'm just shy.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
It's shocking because I feel like from knowing you online, it seems like you would have an extroverted
Right.
personality, but I often find with content creators that a lot of us are more introverted, so I can totally understand that.
Yeah, I mean, you could be whoever you want to be online. Didn't I tell you that? Don't trust anyone online when you're like growing up in school. You don't know who you're talking to. Mm-hmm. I took that in like a different way, and in that like creepy way, but like, I could be anyone I want online.
Who do you feel like you show up as online?
I guess this character Cugine that I created. It's colder than your sister's heart out there, so instead of getting a bacon, egg, and heart attack, we're gonna do a little egg in the hole, extra butter, little class. Ain't leaving the fucking house today. Cugine is me too. Like, it's just very exaggerated. So a few things I do in real life. I like you see me cook in a white robe. I do wear a white robe around the house, so that is like real. But for the most part, you turn it on.
Right. Yeah, you turn it on for
Who
the
the hell
camera.
wants to do Cuge 24 hours a day? You got to be fucking
Right.
bananas for that.
I actually talked about this with Lil Mo. Lil Mo was one, I know you and Mo are good friends, and he was one of the first people that I had on the podcast. And if you guys want to go listen to that episode, go to my YouTube channel because you can watch it there. But Lil Mo was talking about how he has like a scale from like a 1 through 10. And he's like, I can either give you a 10, which is full Lil Mo, or I can give you a 5, which is a more kind of reined in version of myself. So I feel like that definitely relates to people that are in the content or entertainment space.
Yeah, you got to read the situation and give what looks appropriate.
Right. But you're known for your one-liners.
Yes.
So I feel like that is you, right? You're
Yeah,
naturally kind of a funny person.
Yeah, I guess I'm naturally funny. I mean, the one-liners in the videos I do write, just write jokes and.
But you write them out.
Yeah, I'm not as quick as maybe I once was, or maybe. I don't know. It gets harder and harder. You know what I mean? A video that I did like 3 years ago that got 2 million views. If I did the exact same one, would get fucking 2 views. So like I have to be a little more clever and think about, everything I do and everything I wear.
Right.
And, outfit change. It sounds stupid, but, the little things.
Right. What do you feel like is the Cuge uniform? Because the shirt that you're wearing right now, I know you wore the first time we filmed together, which I love, guys.
I wore it just for Kate because I figured we brought good luck last time. So I figured, we'll bring it back.
This is literally the cutest thing ever. Like when you told me that you were wearing that, I was so happy.
Yeah,
so cute.
A little nostalgia.
Yeah, got it. Is it the Sopranos on your shirt?
Yeah, it's just Tony, I think there's a quote or something. I don't even know. Here he is in a white robe, which is what I like to cook in. You know, whatever. Just some
I love it.
inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, who else to be inspired by than
Right,
other
just
than
a
Sopranos?
serial murderer, you know. It's fantastic.
Okay, let's back it up a little bit though, because I want to paint the picture of who Cuge is. So let's share your backstory a little
Who's
bit.
or Danny? Who are we talking about?
True. Well, first, Danny.
We can intertwine it.
Yeah. So actually, this is kind of funny, but Cuge and I, when we first did our run, we were together for probably like an hour and a half filming. And it wasn't until the end of the video that I found out that your name isn't actually Cuge, it's Danny.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? Who is Cuge then? You know, like, how'd you get the nickname? Like, how does Cuge come
that
from
was
Danny?
Funny. Some people don't know that Cugine is like a nickname.
Right. So let's talk about Danny, and then we'll get into Cuge and how the name came to be and how you started out online. But talk to me about growing up in Staten Island. What were you like as a kid?
You know, kind of like the same. I was just like a quiet kid. I had 2 older brothers, you know, regular family. Grandma lived in the apartment in the house, so that was nice. I got to grow up with her too. You know, that was it. I just, you know, played sports, stayed out of trouble a lot. I guess I did okay in school. I don't really know.
Yeah. Did you ever think you would find yourself working in the entertainment industry?
Nah.
Which is kind of what I consider content at this point.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think more and more as we go on, we're starting to become more recognized as entertainers and into like the Hollywood world almost. Because they see us more than they see like a Hollywood actor on screen. They see us every day.
I think it's really similar.
So
I mean, the fact that you're getting recognized all around Brooklyn and New York, and honestly wherever you go, is equivalent to an actor.
Yeah. So I guess it works out. But yeah, entertainment. No, I was always too shy. I never thought I could do this. You know, I think everyone grows up and they want to be a movie star, because who doesn't want to be a movie star when they're a little kid? Or like something like that, you know? Or an astronaut or someone famous, but I never really pursued it. It kind of just happened. I make life take me. I go with the flow. I don't change life. I make life change me. Does that make sense? I kind of like,
you go with the flow. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of just letting the universe figure out your path. Do its thing.
Make the simulation simulate. You know?
It's so funny talking to Cuge about how he works and all of that, because you're like, I don't really work, I'm lazy. And I'm like, I don't get it, because you're so successful. Like, you can't be lazy to be this successful.
Yeah, I mean,
you're in a good situation.
I guess I set myself up for success. You know, you got to play the game a little bit, but the game, you know.
You ended up going to college where you were there for accounting, which I find fascinating. The pipeline from having an accounting degree to being a massive content creator is just
it just doesn't go hand in hand at all. But yeah, I kind of knew I wasn't going to be an accountant. I was just good at it, so I was like, I could just coast through college with, you know, I like numbers, so it wasn't too hard. But I always worked in like delis and supermarkets, so I was always around food. So that's what I really like to do. So when I got out of college, I got an accounting job. Quit in 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Right?
So you did end up graduating, getting a full-time job in accounting, working for a short period of time.
5 days.
Wow.
Literally 5 days.
Wait, that's wild.
And then I just quit. I was like, I'm not doing this bullshit, sitting in the cubicle, just looking at a computer screen.
Good for you that you knew it wasn't right for you. Yeah. So many people stay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be miserable. I mean, I'll be miserable, but at least I'll be miserable in the kitchen, you know, getting screamed at by a chef because the fucking steak is too raw or some shit. Who the fuck knows what I did?
Wait, so you went from an accounting job for 5 days to then working in a kitchen? Is that what you ended up doing?
Yeah, so I was still living in Newport's. So I went back to like my old job in the deli. And then I just worked there, and then COVID hit, and then I just got a job at like a restaurant as a line cook, but still upstate. And we worked through that throughout COVID. So I actually had to work throughout COVID. Kind of sucked. I didn't get that extra 600. Brutal. I'm still fucking salty.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, being a line cook is a grind, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. It's like a sport. Because, like, you know, you wake up and you like prep, and then you're on your feet for like 8 to 10 hours. No breaks. Hot. It's like 95 degrees in the kitchen. Got to wear pants and, you know, sleep, you know.
I mean, I feel like that was a stressful job.
It's definitely stressful.
Right. No wonder why you like
burns all over the place.
Really?
You know? I mean, I used to. But
What kind of food were you making?
It was like fast casual, but you know, burgers, sandwiches, paninis, salads, bowls.
Did you ever think maybe I'll go to culinary school?
Not really. It's expensive. Plus, you don't really need it. You can learn. Just get a job in the kitchen and just cook, and you learn. You learn way more in a year of that than you will in 4 years of cooking and spending $200,000 on a degree that says you could salt a steak or some shit. You know.
So backing up a second, just to paint the picture, you started really cooking a lot when you were in college, right? I read that you moved off campus and, you know, you had a big kitchen for the first time and you started chefing up food. And at that time was when you started your first Meals by Cug account, which I'm assuming was Instagram.
Yeah, it was Instagram. Yeah, that's what happened. It was basically my mother was like, I'll pay for groceries, but if you want to go out to eat, you got to pay. So obviously I was like, all right, I guess I'll just cook. And then I just double it. So I feel like maybe what you do with your content and mine is like I cook every day, or I used to. So why not film it? Like you run every day. Why don't you film it? You know, I think a lot of people ask me like, how do you become a content creator? I'm like, just pick something that you do every day and just add on to it. It's only going to take you another half hour, hour to create that content. Plus, you're on the fucking Instagram 6 hours a day anyway. Might as well make some money off, or attempt to make some money off it.
So you started out filming yourself making food. What kind of food were you making back in those days?
Basically this exact same food, just Italian food, meatballs, chicken cutlets. It was really, really simple stuff. I would kind of just make macaroni for like the roommates, and we would just hang out, you know?
I find it so fascinating that when you first started posting content, you weren't putting your face in the content, but now it's like you're so known for you. It's like as soon as somebody sees a video on their For You page and it's your face, they're watching.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
so at what point did you make the shift and start putting yourself in your content?
It was before I blew up. I mean, I don't even know. I almost just gave up Meals by Cug. Not because I never did it to do this. I just stopped doing it just because I was like, all right, you know, I did it, and that's all I wanted to do, and I'm happy I did it, and, you know, it ran its course. Right. So I was, like, only posting, like, once a month for a couple of, you know, for the last few months before I got viral. And then my friend sent me a video, and she's like, you could do fucking better than, like, it was of someone else. And she was like, you're better than this guy. Why don't you do better? And I was like, all right, just kicking the ass I needed, I guess.
Yeah, it takes a friend.
Yeah.
Being
definitely,
like, you could do this.
Definitely takes a lot of, like, your regular friends, which I always have. I haven't lost any of them. Yeah. But they humble you. You need your regular friends to ground you.
Yeah.
That's the most
I'm a big
important.
believer with content that there's like certain like layers to it. It's like if your content makes sense for your family and friends and they're like, this is a good thing for Cug or this is a good thing for Kate, right? If they see it and they accept it, then it kind of gets into that next layer of like periphery friends. And if they see it and understand it and accept it, then it like keeps going from there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you build it from like,
yeah.
Because when I had like when I first started making content, you know, I only had a couple hundred followers. It was just like my friends. I treated it as like a regular Instagram page. But like I would make jokes that I knew like my closest friends liked. And it wasn't for the mass public. It was just because, oh, fucking Pat will think this is funny.
Right,
Let me say this, you know. It would literally be for like one or two people at some videos because I knew like they would find that funny, and that's all I wanted was to make the, you know, people around me laugh. I was just doing it was like a hobby. Like when people were like, even now, like you ask me like, what are your hobbies? It's like, well, my hobby was just cooking and doing this little Meals by Cug page, but now that's no longer a hobby. That became a job, so now it's more of a fucking pain in the ass. And you know,
so now you're like, what are your new hobbies?
That's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't
that's the problem.
It's
that's
you know
sometimes
what
how
I mean?
I feel.
Because I sometimes just want to like make a video and like fuck off, but like I know I can't post because it'll do horrible, so there's no point of doing it. You know, it's like sometimes all the fun is sucked out of it, and you're like, fuck, I'm not doing this for shits and giggles. I gotta make some money over here.
Absolutely. I mean, that is one of the hard things about content. And it's like you do something for so long and then it's kind of like you just have to mix it up, right? And get like recreatively inspired. Because I feel like what you're describing is almost like burnout that people talk about a lot, right? Like, how do you deal with that?
just chug along. I mean, you keep.
But you can't just chug along because
you
that
can. You keep
becomes a cycle, though.
Well, so I can. I'm cool.
Right. Well, okay. So for me,
you just got to stay relevant. So like for me,
Right.
my whole thing right now is just stay relevant. So like that's
don't
why I
think you
do a
have a
lot of
problem with
collabs. You hit me up. I was like, I know I'm going to be fucking miserable running, but I know it's very good for me, and I know it'll be good for you. So if it's good for everybody, then I like to do it.
have you ever thought about hosting a podcast or something like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna get into like long form in early 20. Fuck, we're in 2025 almost. So I think I'm gonna start doing that, but like subscriber base, because I want to get a little degenerate on there, and you can't really do that with YouTube. You know what I mean? I kind of want to like do like my favorite dive bars and just go there and just get gritty and disgusting, and
Where would that be? Like, where would you post that content?
like a subscribe, like Patreon, maybe not Patreon, but like something like that.
Got it.
And,
Where you kind of pay for access to that content.
Yeah, 'cause
basically OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not there yet. Kate,
You heard it here, guys. 2025, Cug is launching his OnlyFans.
Sick. If you want to collab, let me know.
$10 a month, you get access to exclusive content from Meals by Cug.
May not be what you're looking for, but it's what you need.
I totally could see you with a long form podcast. I do have to say, like, based on kind of like what we were just talking about, doing this and sitting down with people has like recreatively inspired me and made me love my like running interview show content again, even more.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just a matter of like mixing things up. But I'm curious, like, what would your advice be to people that want to get into the content space? Being that you've been in it for a couple years now, right? How many years now? 5?
Full time, 3. I started the page in 27, so like 7 years been doing it, but like full time a little over 3 years. What would be the advice? Do something that you like, because it's like picking a job. Like don't do a job that you're gonna hate. And like nobody loves their job. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. If people may enjoy their job, but nobody loves it to the 100% degree. So pick some content that you won't mind doing, and then that you're doing anyway, and that you find funny, and you just gotta find a way to differentiate yourself. That's like the main thing in marketing when you take a marketing class. It's like what differentiates you from the other brands or from the other products that you compete with. So, I'm a cook or, food reviewer, so I just have to put my own spin on cooking and whatever and make sure that no one can emulate me.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
You want to be one of one.
I agree, and I think it's like leaning into your personality. Like nobody can be you. So if you're just being so authentically you, it's gonna work.
Yes.
And I think that's a testament for your content. Like you're so authentically you, and that's what your audience loves.
Right. Yeah.
I'm curious, when you were working your line job into COVID, at what point did you go full time with your content?
I think my first viral video was in July of 21, and then July. What is that? The summer, I guess. So I was just kind of messing around with it, and then kind of taking off, but I was still working. And then my friends were like, "Fuck it, why don't you like just go hard at this thing and then see what happens?" And then that's what I did. I took their advice in the back of a dive bar at this place called Snugs. And yeah, I think in October, no, in September, they do the San Gennaro Fest, the Italian feast in Little Italy. And, it was first, like, I was getting recognized like over the summer here and there, but I was upstate and, it was a small community, so it wasn't too, hard. So when I went down here, like everyone knew me. I was taking a lot of pictures, so I literally went back up, whatever it was, the next day or two, whenever I had to go back to work and hit my 2 weeks in. I was like, peace. But they kind of knew I was on the way out, too. It was just good timing. And then, I just went hard for those 3 months. I had 3 months left on my lease up there. I did a video a day. Unless my video hit 1 million, then I would treat myself and not film the next day, you know what I mean? Take a day break, you gotta take breaks. All these content creators just go hard and hard and hard, and they run themselves down to the ground.
It's true.
And I don't like it. I try to tell them, like, celebrate your wins. You have to celebrate your wins. What else are you gonna win for? I don't celebrate birthdays. I celebrate wins.
Can I tell you something? It's so funny because Cugine and I are the same age, but you are such like a calming person to talk to. Like you give like grandpa vibes. Has anybody ever told you that?
Yeah, not grandpa, but yeah, I'm very calm. My demeanor is very
Yeah.
Subtle, you know?
Like, I need to be told over and over again that everything's okay and you can take time to yourself. Because instead, I'm filming 5 treadmill episodes a day.
You're going to burn yourself out.
Drinking 3 Celsius.
Yeah, that's not healthy. You know,
Right.
I might be healthier than you, even though you run every day.
I think you are. Like, based on our heart rates over there, I think you are
yours
the
was out
healthier
of control. Yeah.
one. Mine was at a maximum in like zone 2. It was all over the place. But yeah, it is really interesting. You are such a calming person. Maybe we need like a therapy podcast where you just kind of sit with people and
I would love that.
let's do that. Let's turn the tables.
I've never
Ask
been
me
to
about
therapy.
Me.
I don't know
Yeah.
about therapy. What do I ask? What are you asking therapy?
I don't know. Let's free ball. Cooge is in the driver's seat now. Yeah. What are we calling it? We're
Calling it with Coach.
All right. Introduce it.
How you doing? We're calling it with Coach. I'm here with Kate Max, the runner. She just made me run, so I'm not happy with her right now. So how was the run today? What'd you feel?
You know, going into it, I was definitely a little bit tired at first. I did a run this morning. It was 28 degrees outside. So I was definitely slow in the beginning of our run. But then I started feeling good. The runner's high started hitting. Our space heater was right behind me, so I started warming up.
So the runner's high. Tell me about a runner's high. I don't understand the runner's high. Because, you know, I could smoke and get high, and you drink, you get drunk. But a runner's high, I never got that. Who gets high from a run? I get tired and depressed.
Right. A runner's high can either hit or it doesn't hit. I feel like there's some runs
So
that I
it's
go
hit or
on.
miss.
It's
So
hit
you
or
don't
miss.
always get a runner's high every time you run.
I don't think so. That could be open to discussion. I'm sure my runners listening are probably like, that's not true. You get a runner's high every time. I definitely feel like it just depends. Like sometimes I'm running and I feel super good and I'm like blasting my music. I'm picking up the pace. I'm like picturing myself running a marathon, like at an extremely fast pace, which is like not really possible
Right.
for me. But I don't know. A runner's high is a hit or miss. Either you feel it or you don't. But I want you to experience a runner's high.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to be a seasoned runner just to know what about a runner's high, you know?
What about when you're playing basketball? Do you get a runner's high or like at least like a high?
Yeah, you get a little high sometimes just making a good play, you know. I don't play as much as I used to, or maybe even like to. I don't know, it just doesn't happen as much. My joints don't work like they used to work.
You're a grandpa.
I'm achy.
You are a 27-year-old, 90-year-old man.
Yeah, the blood work is probably crazy.
Yeah, you know who you kind of remind me of a little bit? Larry David.
Good guy.
Just the way you're sitting right now, I feel like he would be sitting like this,
is
right?
like, you know, I think this is like an old school. I always have the legs crossed. I think it's comfortable, you know.
In this therapy session, what else do you want to ask me before we switch back to you?
I don't know. I can't subscribe you Zoloft or anything, so.
You know what I had the other day?
No.
Can I tell you about an experience? Okay, so I was on a panel, and I do not do well on panels.
Yeah, me neither. I run from public talking. I've only did it like once, and I was mortified. I was like, I'm never doing this again.
My body gets like really hot. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I start getting the highs. I'm like, it's not good. And then, you know, I have like a martini or two. You calm down. You do what you got to do.
Right. Well, something better than a martini. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about drugs on this podcast, but basically my friend was staying with me and she gave me this thing called the Delta blocker, which apparently a lot of people that do panels take. And essentially it just kind of calms you down.
I think it's black
called
you out.
I don't know. No, it didn't like black you out and like make you like fall asleep, but I was the calmest I've ever been. I'm not funny.
Like
I was cracking
relaxer.
jokes on stage. My manager
sick.
sitting in the corner, he's like, what is going on? My mic for some reason kept going out, probably because I was saying too much, too confidently. And I was like joking into the mic, like singing into it. Like it was wild. And anyways, next time you do a panel, you need one of those.
Yeah, drugs are a wonderful thing, kids.
Yeah. All right, so you have cooked with some iconic people. Post Malone, French Montana, the Rizzler. Let's talk about that. How wild is it to be cooking food with some of these people?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I really do it for like my like regular friends. They find it so cool. Me, I just look at it as work. I'm just like, all right, I'm filming with you today. Like, I don't really look at them as celebrity. I'm just like, this is the job today. Let's do it. Just like today, like, all right, this is the job. We got to run. That's Kate, whatever. And we'll do what we got to do. Like, I just look at it as work. So, you know, a lot of people will be like, that's sick. That's cool. And I'm like, fuck, I don't even want to do it half the time because it's work. Like, people don't understand, like, what I do what we do. It's still work. It might be cool, and there are some fun opportunities. But at the end of the day, you are there to film and produce, and the people that hire you to bring your game and do what you have to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It is true. Like I feel like a lot of people will ask me, like, do you get nervous when you're running with someone in particular? You know, like I recently did a video with Tim Walz running through Central Park, and I was definitely nervous, but at the same time, I totally get what you're saying. It's like we're showing up, we're doing our job, and that's kind of it. It's almost like I black out during.
Yeah, I black out while I do like those when they're like bigger celebrity. I kind of just black out and I just do it. And that's it. That's the only way to do it.
But what was it like hanging out with Post? Because I'm obsessed with him.
He's the nicest, sweetest guy ever.
Yeah.
He's like the biggest heart. He's very, very nice guy. Very wholesome. You know, exactly, what you see is what you get, Just drinking Bud Light, smoking cigarettes, barefoot. Mm-hmm. Great guy.
I saw him for the first time perform a few months ago. I was at the Netflix is a Joke festival, which is where I interviewed Bert Kreischer and Tom and Jelly Roll together.
Okay. Oh, nice.
That was a blackout situation for me.
Yeah.
I was originally told we were gonna go for a run, Bert, Tom, and I, and then it very quickly turned into like a 3-minute walk. And I was literally flown out to LA for this, so I'm like, oh my god, I need to get a video out of this. I need to get as much of an interview as I possibly can in 3 minutes. Because they had people chasing them, like talk about fandom. Jelly Roll is like loved. I love him. Yeah, and he's just so loved by especially everybody that was there.
I was drinking with his band in LA over the summer.
You were?
We just happened to be in the same hotel. He wasn't there, but it was the rest of his band members.
That's pretty cool.
They're cool guys. They're a fun time.
Yeah, that's a pretty iconic situation. What do you feel like has been like the craziest situation that you found yourself just naturally in?
I think the White House.
Okay.
That situation's ridiculous. Like, why am I in the White House?
Yeah.
I'm just like some jerk off on the internet. But, you get invited, you got to go, right? It's the White House.
Did you meet the president?
No, we did see the president and the first lady. They did speak, but they didn't mingle with anybody. Mm-hmm. But, it was good. I was just like chilling in the White House because it was a dinner. Right. So you're just like sitting on their furniture, putting your drink down on like the, cabinet and shit. It's cool. All the pictures and paintings, of ex-presidents. And, it was a fun experience. Chandeliers was sick. The service was crazy. It was like Carbone times 10. You put a drink down, it's getting picked up within 3 seconds. And the level of class, like the Secret Service and all the staff have there, it's exactly what you would want your government to act like, I guess. You know what I mean? It was exactly what I thought it should be and was. All
right. You're doing a lot. People love you. I'm curious, what's next for you? What are you excited about potentially working on?
We're dabbling with a long form next year. I have a Christmas party that I'm planning.
Ooh.
It's going to be bananas.
What's the Christmas party?
It's just ugly sweaters. We got midgets coming. We got a blackjack table. We got...
Where do you find midgets?
Online.
Oh.
There's a mini Donald Trump and a middle Joe Biden. So we're going to make them the bartenders. That's going to be like my first long form video. It's just Cugine's Christmas party. And it's going to be really just like an industry event, like only like people like us, only insiders, know. And it's gonna be a fun time,
Wait, Cuge, this is so cool. Are you planning it all on your own?
Nah, I got like my buddy is really going to help. But, I got the vision.
Cuge's Christmas party coming to New York City. Do you want this to be a tradition for you?
Yeah, I do want this to be like a
thing,
like an annual thing where I get a group of my friends together and people I've worked with throughout the year.
Where's the party?
It's in Brooklyn. It's just like at a restaurant.
Do you have your sweater picked out?
Yeah, it's sick.
Can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, of course.
Let me see.
Half the reason I'm doing this party
is because of the sweater?
Is the sweater.
Where did you find it?
At a vintage shop.
Classic.
Throwbacks, Mr. Throwback.
I don't know.
He's got a couple of shops in Lower East Side. But it is...
I love the Lower East Side.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny on a ski.
That is so cute.
That's wild.
Why was I expecting you to find some obscure Staten Italy sweater?
Yeah, some guinea shit.
I was not expecting Bugs Bunny, but I'm so happy with the Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
that's a really cute sweater.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's like a good ski
excited.
sweater. Do you ski?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, what else do you have going on?
No, I'm gonna really be focusing on long form content and
Yeah.
kind of pushing like that subscriber service in quarter one of 2025. Because 2024 this year was kind of like a dead year. I didn't really do much. I kind of just coasted.
What does a day in the life look like for you
do
when you're
much.
coasting?
You know, a lot of people are like, you're doing this, doing that. Normally I wake up, you know, and then I go for a walk, if that. Then I'll take myself out to lunch. I like to eat lunch alone, you know, just like one of the local restaurants. You know, come back, just hang out, watch a little TV, you know, and then maybe at night I'll go out for a dinner or a couple of drinks and hang out with friends. And that's it. Like, I don't really do everyone thinks I live this crazy, extravagant life because they just see like one or two stories here or there. And you know, some stuff I do is a lot of fun, but for the most part, I just live a normal, simple lifestyle. You know what I mean? I still have to take the trash out. I still have to go drop my laundry off and run
Absolutely.
errands.
I believe that you do all those things. I feel like you are living a very just sustainable life, though.
Yeah, very.
You know?
I could, I could, you know, live on 20 grand a year in the mountains and I'd still be happy. You know, I don't need much. You know, I don't think materialistic things really get me crazy.
That's good. That's a good way to be. That's a little different than me. I love buying things as a girl.
I mean, I do, you know, once in a while I do treat yourself as, you know, you do celebrate your wins. So sometimes you celebrate your wins with, you know, ordering McDonald's, eating an edible, and just drooling in front of the TV.
I wish we were high for this.
Yeah, this would have been, I would have been way too introverted. I get weird. I really just smoke alone. I did smoke a little this morning. And I regretted that, obviously, because I was huffing and puffing like a bastard on that treadmill. But we made it.
We made it. All right. Well, I like to end my podcast with one final question. And that is, what are we manifesting for 2025?
To continue to make people happy, you know, whatever. You get into the business. As long as they're happy, I'm happy. Don't worry about me. They be happy. You know, the people be happy.
I love that.
As long as I can make them happy, you know.
You are making people happy.
Oh, thank you.
Cooge is the internet's grandpa. I'm calling it right now.
All right.
That's what you're going to start becoming known as.
Sick.
Because you are so calming.
I know.
You're like, great.
Right. I mean, I know I am, you know. Just people don't think I am because of my videos. I'm very, you know, out there and extroverted. I guess my videos look like I am. But
all right. Well, thank you so much, Cooge. That's a wrap. You're the freaking best.
Thanks for having me. Take care. Brush your hair.